You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 169.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, with a little bit of major national sports news, anything that might be of interest to Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengel.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, it is a treat to have you along with us. Today is February 5th, 2025. It's a Wednesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Madison Grant High School, producer Susie is home in bed sick. Get better, producer Susie. Can't wait to see you. The girls' basketball postseason began Tuesday, and we have all the local results. We'll have all the results from across the entire state a little bit later on our girls' basketball scoreboard segment. That'll be 169.2. Also Tuesday, IU, Purdue, Ball State, and the Pacers were all in action. We'll get to all of that momentarily, but before we do that, please go like, subscribe, or follow us so you don't miss a single segment. We are on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report, and it's easy to find. Of course, we start today with the girls' basketball sectionals, and we'll start in Class 4A, Sectional 9 at Mount Vernon. Richmond upset Greenfield Central 54-50. Amy Anna Tucker led the Red Devils with 26 points in their third straight win. Richmond is now 12-11 and plays 17-6 Mount Vernon on Friday. Mount Vernon beat the Red Devils 46-33 on November 16th. Anderson got its third win of the season and its second over Muncie Central 44-39. Muncie Central's season ends at 8-14. Anderson outscored the Bearcats 30-21 in the second half after trailing 18-14 at the break. Anderson plays 17-6 and sectional favorite Pendleton Heights on Friday. The Arabians and Indians surprisingly did not play each other this season. To Sectional 8 at Noblesville, the two favorites were victorious on Tuesday. Number 1 Hamilton Southeastern beat Fishers 46-30. Future IU Hoosier Maya Mikulski had 20 points in the win. Hamilton Southeastern is now 23-0 and plays 10-12 Zionsville on Friday. The Royals, who are ranked 9th in the nation by Max Preps, beat Zionsville 63-33 2 weeks ago. And in the other semifinal, number 10 and defending regional champion Noblesville beat Carmel 51-40. Future Miami Redhawk and Indiana All-Star Meredith Tipner had 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 assists. It's the Millers' second win over the 10-13 Greyhounds this season. Noblesville plays 15-8 Westfield on Friday. The Millers beat the Shamrocks 53-51 at Noblesville on December 21st. That should be a good one. To Class 3A in the north half of the draw, we start with Sectional 24 at Connorsville, where Yorktown and Delta both advanced to Friday semifinals. Yorktown defeated Newcastle 32-26. Junior Lily Sylvester and sophomore Olivia Conklin scored 29 of the Tigers' 32 points. Sylvester 15, Conklin 14. Sylvester also had 10 rebounds. 16-6 Yorktown plays 15-8 and host Connorsville on Friday in the first semifinal. In Tuesday's second quarterfinal, Delta blew past defending champion Hamilton Heights 63-37. Hamilton Heights season ends 5-17. The Huskies were led by senior Katie Brown, who had 20 points. 15-7 Delta takes on 10-12 Jay County on Friday. The Eagles beat Jay County 64-33 3 weeks ago. Only one game in Sectional 23 in the 7-team field. That one's at Twin Lakes, and Peru beat Northwestern for the second time this season, 57-49. Addison Robbins scored 40 points for Peru. The Tigers are now 13-10 and play 6-16 West Lafayette on Friday. Northwestern season ends 8-13. And in sectional 22 at Norwell, New Haven and Norwell advanced. New Haven beat Heritage 59-30. Alana Webb scored 21 points and Hannah Goodrich 15 for the Bulldogs, who are 4-18 and play number 6 Belmont on Friday. Belmont is 20-2. Belmont beat the Bulldogs 80-37 on December 21st. Number 9, Norwell beat Marion 81-28. 5 Knights scored in double figures, led by Vanessa Rossworms 18 and Macy Salfranks 16. Freshman Naomi Hahn paced the Giants with 13. Norwell is ranked 9th, is the defending semi-state champion, and plays 10-12 Mississinewa on Friday. To Class 2A, we have 3 sectionals, all in the north half of the draw. We started at Alexandria, where the third-ranked Alexandria Tigers beat Burris 76-18. Jacqueline Hosier scored 26 points and is now, at least momentarily, the county's all-time leading scorer with 2,056 points. Number 3, Alexandria is 23-1 and faces 2-21 Blackford on Friday. The Tigers beat the Bruins 67-22 on December 13th. And in the second quarterfinal at Alexandria, Eastbrook beat Madison Grant for the third time this season, 54-17. The Panthers led 32-11 at the half in their third win of the season over the Argyles and their third straight win overall. Eastbrook is 8-13, is the defending sectional champion, and faces 18-4 Wapahani on Friday. Wapahani beat the Panthers 52-36 on January 7th. The 2 favorites at Sheridan, Lapel and Ho Sheridan, both easily won on Tuesday and appear headed for a sectional championship game against each other on Saturday. Lapel opened the sectional with a 52-21 win over Taylor. Junior Lanaya Wills had 32 points and 7 rebounds and made 4 of her 5 3-point attempts in the win. Lapel is 16-8, is the defending regional champion, and faces 12-10 Elwood on Friday. Sheridan beat Frankton 58-26. It's the 20th straight win for the 11th ranked Blackhawks. Senior Kinsey Garner, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 steals, and 3 assists. Seniors Emma Key and Sophia Hoagland scored 6 points apiece to lead the Eagles, whose season ends at 11-13. Sheridan is now 22-1 and faces 2-20 Tipton on Friday. And at Lewis Cass, 16-6 Cass and 15th ranked Oak Hill advanced. Cass beat Eastern 47-14. Miley Sipe had a game-high 14 points for the Kings. Marley Cone had 6 points and 10 rebounds to lead Eastern. Lewis Cass is 17-6, the defending regional champion, and faces 9-13 Manchester on Friday. In the big game of Tuesday, number 15 Oak Hill got past Wabash 48-36. Senior Liz Godfrey had 20 points, and freshman Brianna Daly had a double-double of 10 points and 10 rebounds to lead the Golden Eagles, who are now 21-2 on the season. Oak Hill faces 16-6 Rochester on Friday. In Class A at Tri-Central, Cowan and Daleville were victorious on Tuesday and will face each other in Friday's semifinal round. Cowan beat Westdell for the second time this season, 69-35. Daleville beat Tri-Central for the second time this season, 53-29. Westdell season ends 0-21. Tri-Central finished 7-16. 5-17 Cowan takes on 14-7 Daleville, the defending champions, in Friday's first semifinal. Daleville beat Cowan twice this season by a combined 67 points. And in the Class A sectional in the South draw, sectional 57 at Anderson Prep, Indiana Deaf and the host Jets were victorious on Tuesday. Indiana Deaf beat MTI 70-51. Indiana Deaf is now 12-10 and faces 4-10 Purdue Broad Ripple on Friday. Indiana Deaf defeated the Lynx by 50 points on December 11th. And Anderson Prep got a huge win over Indianapolis Tinley, 54-51. The Jets won in spite of a 22-0 run by Tinley in the first half. Olivia Peoples had 22 points and led the Jets to their program record 5th victory. APA is now 15-9 and faces 5-7 Liberty Christian on Friday. APA beat the Lions twice this season, 77-61 on November 30th and 46-41 in overtime in the Madison County tournament. In some other high school news, Jay County boys basketball head coach Jerry Baumhold announced he is retiring immediately due to health concerns. His 44-year career ends with 602 victories. Lapel senior Carson Kissinger has signed with Indiana State to continue his football career. And former Tipton star Luke Shively has been named the run game coordinator and offensive line coach at Butler University. The Indiana Pacers played one of their worst games of the season, at least since the start of December, in a 112-89 loss in Portland on Monday. Indiana shot just 42%, made 5 of their 23 three-point attempts, and Tyrese Halliburton scored 0 points. The Trailblazers almost led the entire game. The Pacers got within 53-52 midway through the third, but the Blazers closed the period on a 25-14 run. Andrew Nimhard led Indiana with 17 points. Portland's Anthony Simon had the game high of 22 points. The young and talented Blazers have won 5 straight and 10 of their last 11. The 28-21 Pacers are back Thursday night against 28-22 Los Angeles Clippers before taking on Luka Doncic and the LA Lakers on Saturday afternoon. Earlier Tuesday, Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle was named the Eastern Conference Coach of the Month for January after the Pacers went 10-2. And in the in-bag, the Indiana Mad Ants took down East-leading Toronto 116-112 and are now second in the East, a half game behind Capital City. Former Purdue star Dakota Mathias led 6 Ants in double figures with 23 points. The Ants are off until Saturday when they host 6 and 9 Motor City at 6 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. A lot of college basketball on Tuesday. Purdue won for the 10th time in their last 11 games with an 90-81 win at Iowa. Purdue is now 18-5 overall, and the 2-time defending Big Ten champions are back on top of the standings, a half game ahead of Michigan State, which has lost back-to-back games to USC and UCLA. In Tuesday's win, Purdue broke a 36-36 halftime tie behind 31 points from Braden Smith, the nation's best player, and Trey Kaufman-Renn scored 25 points in the win. Smith also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a couple of steals. Josh Dix and Peyton Sanford combined for 50 points for the 13-9 Hawkeyes, who have lost 5 of their last 6 games. The Boilermakers play 13-9 USC Friday at 7 on Fox Sports 1. The Indiana Hoosiers lost for the 4th straight time and for the 6th time in their last 7 games, 76-64 on the road against number 21 Wisconsin. Indiana's Mackenzie Mabako and Wisconsin's John Tanji both had game highs of 15 points. Ball State took an 81-73 loss at MAC leading Akron. The score was tied at 39 with just over 13 minutes left, and a really nice effort by the Cardinals on the road. Ball State's Jeremiah Hill led all players with 19 points, with 7 rebounds, and with 4 assists. The Zips had 4 players in double figures, all off the bench. The Akron bench outscored Ball State's 59-20. The Cardinals host 10-13 Southern Mississippi in a non-conference game on Saturday at 2. The game can be seen in person at Worthen Arena or on ESPN+. IU Kokomo is 14-8 overall after a 73-49 win over visiting IU Southeast. Former Noblesville Miller Noah Harris led the Cougars with 21 points. Senior Max Newman added 16 points, and senior Dell DeMyers had 15 in the win. To women's college basketball, the IUK women lost for the 5th time in their last 6 games, 56-44 to IU Southeast. Former Western star Mackenzie York scored 12, and former Mississinawa star Mia Cady had 11 for the 8-14 Cougars. Former Northwestern and current Illinois star Kendall Bostic has been named to the Women's College All-Star Watch List. To Wednesday's highlights, there are just a couple of girls' sectional games. In 3A at Twin Lakes, 8-15 Western takes on 4-18 Logansport, ahead of 13-8 Mechaniqua versus 6-7 Twin Lakes. And in Class A at Tri Central, 14-8 Northfield takes on 6-16 Southwood. Then 12-10 North Miami plays 16-7 Southern Wells in a wide open sectional. Wednesday's winners will play in the second semifinal at Tri Central on Friday. A couple of pretty good boys basketball games on Wednesday as well. 11-5 Tipton hosts 11-5 Lapel. The Blue Devils are ranked 11th in 2A, and Lapel is 15th. They're two of the favorites in Sectional 39 in March. Also, 9-6 Hamilton Heights faces 10-4 Kip Legacy at home. In men's college basketball Wednesday, 21st ranked Anderson is 17-3 and goes to Manchester to face the 7-13 Spartans. 15-7 Indiana Wesleyan is at 14-8 Spring Arbor. And 12-10 Taylor takes on 6-16 Grace. In women's college basketball Wednesday, Ball State looks to make it 13 wins in a row when they host Bowling Green. Bowling Green is 11-10 overall and has won 4 of its last 6. Ball State is 18-4 overall, 10-0 in the MAC. That game is at 6:30 and can be seen on ESPN+. Also, unbeaten Indiana Wesleyan goes to 15-7 Spring Arbor. 6-16 Taylor's at 9-13 Grace. And 10-9 Anderson goes to 7-12 Manchester. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you so much for listening. Always appreciate it. Please do us a huge favor and tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie. Get better, baby.